Ashes, hey. Ashes. Hey. Psst. There are too many distractions for this. Hey YouTube, it's Travis, Pagan Scholar, and I'm walking my dog. So we got a dog recently. Her name is Ashes, and we got her from the pound, and we have no clue what she is. The pound said she was a Schipperke mix, but as the vet informed me, anybody with a Schipperke wouldn't let their dog near anything else other than a Schipperke. They also said she was a Basenji mix, which is a little bit more believable. And she is adorable, and we're learning things together. I see a lot of walking witch videos, and I figured I could do that. I mean, I have my Let's Go for a Walk series. There we go, that's a little bit better, now that I'm directly in the path of the sun. So I have not been making videos because I've been feeling not very creative. I struck out in NaNoWriMo, which is fine, that's okay. But I did do something else that was kind of creative and in the same vein as that. It was another writing project. So I've been writing, or I've been trying to write, and as I said in my previous video, I recently got into Changeling, this tabletop game, in a big way. Like, I really fell into the aesthetic of the game, just the entire atmosphere, the environment. It's so cool, very deep, sort of like you deal with trauma, with PTSD from being abducted by fairies. So it's really cool, really deep, and I saw on their website that they were putting out a second edition, and that it was an open call for contributing authors, I guess, for contributing writers to supplement the story. And the way that you submitted was by submitting a piece of flash fiction and some game mechanics for how it would work. Real quick, this is just too beautiful. Sorry, that was too beautiful to pass up. I was looking at myself, being vain, and not looking at the beautiful world around me. So anyways, yeah, you submit a piece of flash fiction and a piece of game mechanics. No more than 1,000 words, and I don't necessarily know how to play the game. I mean, I have an understanding of how tabletop games work. What do you know? But I don't know that specific Changeling World of Darkness game mechanic. So anyways, I wrote the flash fiction, and then I noticed that they didn't have the open call anymore on their website, but I submitted it anyways because I don't, like, if they're no longer accepting things, then guaranteed failure is still better than not submitting at all. If that makes any sense. It really doesn't, but yeah. Had some creative blocks lately, and it's really difficult to be creative when you're using your mental faculties to maintain your wellness elsewhere, because work is really stressful, and everyone's work is stressful. Work is stressful. It's been me trying to sort of practice what I preach and lift myself up out of the rut by forcing myself to be creative. And it's challenging, but that's life, you know. Life is challenging as well. walking the other direction now. It's not that I'm hurting for money, but, you know, everybody could always use a little bit of extra cash. And just, you know, my student loan bills are, they're there. And so I'm trying to figure out ways to make money on the side. And I mean, that's the plight of the millennial, that's the plight of everybody this day and age. It's how to side hustle some extra money without being burnt out. And the problem is, like, I think that maybe I can generate passive income by writing or by creating something, but I'm so tired when I get home from work, you know, my primary source of income, that when I'm home I just don't want to do anything. I'm burnt out. And part of it is just forcing yourself to do it. I know that, you know, a novel doesn't write itself. A novel is blood, sweat, and tears over a keyboard every single day. And that's what I need to do. That's what I need to kind of pull myself up by my bootstraps and just tie myself to the chair with said bootstraps and just write it. I've toyed with the idea of doing tarot readings for funds, but it seems weird. Like, I feel like I would not be able to meet the commitment of like checking the inbox every single day and setting up the shop or whatever. I don't know. It's just, it seems really daunting. In fact, if anybody knows of a video or wants to make a video of how they set up their tarot business, I would be very interested in watching that. I would really, actually really appreciate a video like that. Because, I don't know, I mean, I feel like I could do it, but I don't really know what it is. So, yeah, internet, YouTube, do that. We have to start and stop a lot because Ashes is just so interested in the world around her. She doesn't really bark unless it's at a critter, like a squirrel or another dog. And that's what the most recent stop was. There's another person walking their dog. And she needs friends, but we got to get some more training in her first. It's been really wonderful having a dog again. It's been kind of cool to have something that is just 100% unabashedly excited to see you when you get home, and that zeal, that zest for affection. I mean, it's different from human affection, from human love. And it's just been neat to relearn all of the things that I thought I knew about dogs. I used to have a dog when I was a little kid, but that's not really owning a dog, that's having a pet. I've always actually considered myself a cat person because they're lower maintenance and I feel less bad about leaving them at home. But Ashes was, yeah. What is it? I don't know, it's been really healthy to, I think that having a dog has been good for me emotionally and psychologically because there's so many things that are contributing stress factors in the world, and to get home, again, with that creative burnout in mind, and to have this bundle of energy and excitement to greet you. You know, I can't just, as soon as I get home, fluff on the couch. I have to take her out and walk her, and walking is good for creativity, for ideas come to you when you're just out in nature, or not even in nature, but just out of your normal box of your house or your apartment, and you're exposing yourself to new ideas. I'm really good at the writing process, except for actually writing. So on the first day that I had her, I was still really stressed out because she's very, very good, but doesn't quite listen too well. She knows her name, but she gets really overstimulated and excited. And I was trying to kind of teach her to learn her name a little bit better, and just kind of flippantly, not actually praying, I'm walking her, and I'm like, to whatever god of canines there is, let Ashes learn her name, and I will say it with respect. You know, just kind of like, come on, anybody, whatever. Not really a formal ritual or anything like that. And so I'm also taking footage for a video of like trees and leaves and stuff, you know. Not looking at the road, and Ashes like stops, and I look up, and there is a coyote in the middle of the trail, and Ashes is like starting to like, you know, and I'm like, I am not going to have my dog eaten on the very first day that I bring her home. And before she could bark, I barked. I barked at the coyote to try and scare it off and to show aggression and dominance. And it was really startled. It was like, what? And it took another step forward, and I barked at it again and slowly backed away with Ashes. And it didn't go away. And after we had gone probably like, you know, 50 feet, it had it slowly, languidly followed us, but it didn't attack us, and Ashes kind of listened to me a little bit more. So that was my super duper Pagan moment with my dog and with coyote, which makes a lot of sense here. You still see coyotes around. This area developed really, really fast, sprung up really, really quickly, and a lot of the surrounding wildlife is still around in these woods and in the creek and stuff. So it makes a lot of sense for there to be like a coyote around. And I don't know, I mean, I have a friend of mine who likes to joke with me that there's too much trickster in my mythology, and coyote was, you know, the trickster. So that was really cool. My pagan witchcraft dog. I'm going to get home. I'm going to chop this up and put it all together into one semblance of a video. There was a lot of starts and stops because animals. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm excited to try and get back into a more creative bent and fall into that pattern again of creating whatever that means. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, so I'm gonna hop off the video. Ashes, come on. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Ashes. Can you sit? Oh, good girl. My rope. Ta-da! Yeah. Yeah. And that's my dog.